Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Jeremy Yaseniuk. He is the CEO and director at CopAur Minerals. It's a publicly traded company. The symbols are CPAU on the TSX Venture and COPAF on the OTCQB. And CopAur will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16th, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com. With that, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Very good. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. So this is actually our first time doing an interview together about CopAur. So can you provide us a quick overview and history of the company?
Okay. So the company is a company that has been in existence for quite some time. I think before my involvement, it was called International Samuel. How I got involved with the company, I'll tell a little bit of that story, later on in the details of the company. But basically, I walked in the open market and bought millions of shares out of the open market, and then went and knocked on management's door and said, I think it might be a good idea if I took over as management, and they agreed to it. So they basically just handed me the keys to the company. And the reason for the sort of aggressive takeover of the company, and it was a friendly takeover. There was no pushing any management out or anything like that. They just said, come on in, here's the keys to the kingdom, run it. Was because of where the project is in northern British Columbia. So we actually had two other projects up there. And so we had one called Benchmark, then Thesis, and then this is the next one just up from there. So that's kind of how I got involved with the company. Bought a big position. I'm the founder of those other two companies, one of the founders of those other two companies. And so this was the next logical step for us to take.
Very good. So what would you say makes CopAur unique and different compared to your peers out there?
Well, we have a unique knowledge of the area of British Columbia. So I think in order to make this story make sense, I'll need to explain a little bit about northern British Columbia, and particularly where we're working in what's called the Toodoggone region. So people talk about the Golden Triangle. There's no such thing as a Golden Triangle. There isn't any triangle in northern British Columbia. It makes no sense geologically either. But what there is in northern British Columbia is a big basin and kind of a horseshoe shape, and then all the large deposits of gold, silver, and copper go around this. We are on the eastern side of that basin. And so we started off with a company called Benchmark Metals. We took that company from a $6 million market cap to well north of 120, $150 million right now. And we did that from 2019 to now by uncovering something that all the previous owners ignored. Then we looked around for other companies that had that same signature, and lo and behold, right next to it was a company called Thesis Gold. We took over Thesis Gold, they took over the project, but vended it into a shell that we had, raised a bunch of money for that company. Now we took it from 2020 to now, started with approximately a $20 million market cap, and now it has about $150 million market cap as well, $100 to $150 million market cap. We looked around at what other company had that same sort of signature, and we gobbled, and that's how we took over CopAur. It had the same sort of signature. We looked at it, had a super tight share structure, still does have a very tight share structure, and we just gobbled the company and took it over. And we took it from approximately an $800,000 market cap when we first started. Even though the market's backed off here a little bit, I still think we're at approximately a $30 million market cap. So went from 800,000 to 30 million bucks from 2021 to now. So we have moved very rapidly.
So Jeremy, what about the projects themselves make them unique and different compared to your peers out there?
Okay. So I think the actual projects, they're not that much different than other projects out there. But how we have added value to these projects is that all of these projects were explored back in the 80s, late 80s, early 80s, and into the 90s a little bit. Back then, gold and silver were not trading at the prices that they are now, $300, $400 an ounce, and didn't look like it was going up at any time soon. So what happened was when they were originally explored, all these projects, all three of these projects, the original owners did not fully assay the drill core. And so they didn't really realize what was there. Maybe they did realize what was there and it just didn't care and ignored it. So what we were able to do is come into these projects. We examined the drill core. It was sitting round still in the box. We went and cut it in half and assayed it. And lo and behold, it came back big bulk tonnage type material. And so we took what was, small, high grade deposits to being large, big bulk tonnage type deposits. And we saw a similar trend with each one of these projects. Matter of fact, we landed on the CopAur land property, and the original drill hole was a several 100-meter hole, and it registered approximately two meters, only 2 meters of approximately 15 grams per ton. We went and assayed that entire drill hole, and it came back over 100 meters, well over 100 meters of well over 1.3 grams per ton gold. So instead of it being this big, it was this big. And that's how we've been able to add value to these companies. And so that's what makes both Benchmark Metals, Thesis Gold, and CopAur unique, is that we were able to take what people were looking at like this and make it like this.
Very good. So then to close us out here today, from what you can tell us, what would you say are the company's near-term value catalysts, let's say for the next 6 to 12 months?
Okay, well, I have to back up a little bit. Since I took over the company, and we have this project in northern British Columbia called the Williams Project, we went and gobbled another company out of Nevada called New Placer Dome, and they have a variety of projects in Nevada which are more advanced than our Williams property up in northern British Columbia. We feel that we can advance these projects in Nevada quickly. There's 2 of them, the advanced ones, Kinsley Mountain and Bolo. Kinsley Mountain already has a 500,000 ounce high-grade gold deposit already drilled out, 43101 compliant. What we're doing and what we have done is done a large geophysical survey over the northern part of the property that heads in the direction of Long Canyon, the Long Canyon mine that was bought by Barrick, and it's now part of the Barrick-Newmont joint venture. That was sold for several $1 billion. This looks like it could be something similar. And so what we did is we did a geophysical survey up there. We plan on doing a drill program up in the northern part to test these targets. We just put out a press release the other day, actually yesterday, that talks about the drill targets that we have up there. And so that's really exciting for us. So we're really looking forward to getting some drills on the ground and poking some holes in some of those new targets.
All right. Well, with that, where can our audience go and find more information on CopAur?
Well, you can go to our website, copaur.com. You can always you can give me a call at any time. My name is at the bottom of all our news releases and my contact details. And so we're more than happy to chat with investors.
Very good. And that's COPAUR.com. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And we'll see you in Beaver Creek.
Thank you much. Take care. Bye.
And CopAur, again, will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16th, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com.